Jack Cooper had spent the last decade in the grimmest corner of Northside Penitentiary, a fortress of concrete and steel that loomed over the town like a dark shadow. His crime, a brutal robbery gone wrong, had landed him in Cell 13, a place notorious among inmates and guards alike. They said it was cursed, though no one could explain why. Inmates assigned to Cell 13 never lasted long. They either went mad, were transferred, or worse, were found dead under mysterious circumstances. Jack wasn't a superstitious man. He had faced enough in his life to dismiss ghost stories and curses. But from his first night in Cell 13, something felt wrong. The air was colder, the darkness deeper. At night, strange whispers echoed through the cell, words he couldn't quite make out but felt in his bones. One night, Jack was jolted awake by a chilling draft. The single window was barred and shut tight, and yet the air around him was icy. As he sat up, he noticed a shadow in the corner, darker than the surrounding darkness. He blinked, trying to clear his vision, but the shadow remained, shifting slightly, as if watching him. "Who's there?" Jack's voice was hoarse, his throat dry. The shadow moved, and the whispers grew louder. Jack's heart pounded as he recognized one of the words, Cooper. A cold sweat broke out on his forehead. He reached for the small flickering light above his bed, but the bulb shattered, plunging him into complete darkness. The whispers turned into a cacophony of voices, all chanting his name. Jack covered his ears, but the voices were inside his head now, relentless and accusing. In the dim glow of the emergency light outside his cell, Jack saw it. A face emerged from the shadow, pale and hollow-eyed, mouth twisted into a grotesque grin. It was a face he recognized, Johnny Harris, his partner in the botched robbery. Johnny had been shot by the police and died in Jack's arms. But here he was, in the flesh, or what was left of it. "Jack." Johnny's voice was a raspy whisper. "You left me to die." Jack shook his head, backing up against the cold stone wall. "No, Johnny, I didn't." "You did." Johnny's face twisted with anger. "And now it's your turn." The shadow lunged at him, and Jack screamed, a sound that echoed through the corridors of Northside. Guards rushed to his cell, fumbling with the keys. When they finally managed to open the door, they found Jack alone, huddled in a corner, his eyes wide with terror, blood trickling from his ears. They moved him to the infirmary, where he raved about shadows and whispers, about Johnny Harris and revenge. The prison psychiatrist dismissed it as a severe mental breakdown, exacerbated by guilt and isolation. But the guards who had seen the state of Cell 13 knew better. The air in there was different, colder, heavier. Jack Cooper was never the same. He became a hollow shell of the man he once was, his eyes always darting to the shadows, his ears straining for the whispers. He spoke little, ate less, and spent his days in a stupor, haunted by visions no one else could see. The warden eventually ordered Cell 13 to be sealed off, declaring it unsafe. The official reason was structural instability, but the inmates knew the truth. Northside Penitentiary had many dark corners, but none as dark as Cell 13. They said that on quiet nights you could still hear Jack's screams, and if you were unlucky enough to peer through the small barred window, you might catch a glimpse of Johnny Harris, waiting for his next victim.